Have you ever had that feeling? That strange, prickly sensation when you share good news and the room goes quiet. When the people who are supposed to be your biggest cheerleaders offer a smile that doesn't quite reach their eyes. I have, and let me tell you, it's a gut punch you never forget. My story starts like many others. I had a tight-knit group of girlfriends. We were inseparable. We shared everything: dreams, fears, secrets, and 1,000 inside jokes. When my career started taking off, I was ecstatic. I couldn't wait to tell them about my promotion, the new project I was leading, the little wins that felt so huge. I expected squeals of excitement, champagne toasts, and group hugs. Instead, I was met with something else. It was subtle at first. A backhanded compliment here, a dismissive wave there. "Oh, you're always so lucky," one would say, with a hint of something bitter in her tone. "Must be nice to have it so easy," another would mutter, just loud enough for me to hear. The invitations started to dry up. Group chats would go silent. I'd see photos of them all out together, laughing, posted on social media, and my heart would sink. I couldn't understand it. Weren't we a team? I'd rack my brain, trying to figure out what I did wrong. Did I brag too much? Was I insensitive? I started downplaying my achievements, making myself smaller to fit back into the comfortable box they had for me. I'd change the subject whenever work came up, pretending my life was just as mundane as ever, but it was no use. The distance was already there, a cold, invisible wall built brick by brick with their envy. The real betrayal, the moment the veil was completely ripped away, came in the form of a lie. A calculated, nasty rumor started about me at work, designed to sabotage a major project I was passionate about. It was clever, twisting a small, innocent detail into something ugly. It almost worked. The stress was immense. I felt like I was drowning, and the hands pushing me under were ones I used to hold. After weeks of investigation and sleepless nights, I finally traced the source. It came from one of my closest friends. She had used a private conversation, a moment of vulnerability I had shared with her, and twisted it into a weapon. When I confronted her, she didn't even have the courage to deny it properly. The others just looked away. And in that moment, I saw it all clearly. It wasn't about me. It wasn't something I had done wrong. It was about them. My success wasn't a celebration for them. It was a mirror reflecting what they felt they lacked. My light didn't inspire them. It blinded them with jealousy. Their backstabbing wasn't a random act of cruelty. It was a desperate attempt to pull me back down to their level because they were unwilling to rise to mine. That realization was heartbreaking. It was the death of a friendship I cherished, a future I had pictured with them by my side through all of life's milestones. I mourned it like a real loss. There were tears, anger, and a profound sense of loneliness. But after the storm, there was a strange, quiet calm. I had a choice. I could let their bitterness poison my spirit, or I could use it as fuel. I chose fuel. I poured all that pain, all that disappointment into my work. I focused on my goals with a new ferocity. I promised myself I would not be defined by their smallness. I would succeed not to spite them, but to honor myself. I started building a new circle, slowly and cautiously. This time, I looked for different qualities. I looked for people who clapped when others won, who weren't afraid to shine, and weren't intimidated when I did. I found genuine support in the most unexpected places, and I met someone wonderful, someone who saw my ambition not as a threat, but as one of the things he loved most about me. He celebrated every single win, big or small, as if it were his own. Years passed. I built the life I had always dreamed of, and then some. My career flourished beyond my wildest expectations. I was surrounded by genuine love and authentic friendships. My world was peaceful, filled with joy and mutual respect. One day, out of the blue, I got a message from one of my old friends. It was a long, rambling apology, full of regret. She told me how their lives hadn't turned out the way they'd hoped, how they often talked about me and wondered what could have been. She asked if we could meet, if we could try to be friends again. I read the message and I didn't feel anger or triumph. I just felt a quiet sense of peace. I wrote back and told her I forgave her. I forgave all of them. Holding on to that anger would only hurt me. Forgiveness wasn't for them. It was for me. It was the final step in letting go of the weight they had placed on my shoulders. But I also told her that we couldn't go back. The trust was broken beyond repair. You can forgive someone, but you don't have to give them a front row seat to your life again. Some doors are meant to stay closed, not out of spite, but for self-preservation. My story isn't about revenge. It's about resilience. It's about learning that sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself is to walk away from people who cannot love you at your best. True friends aren't anchors that hold you in the harbor. They are sails that catch the wind alongside you. If someone makes you feel bad for your success, they are not your friend. Protect your peace, celebrate your wins, and never ever dim your light for someone else's comfort. Build a life so full of love and success that there's no room for anything less. You deserve it. Thanks for listening to my story. If you've ever gone through something similar, know you're not alone. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about navigating life's challenges and finding your strength.